Hi, my name is Vishal and I have two kids studying in Heritage, Mika who's in grade 6 and Vihan who's in grade 2. Both my children have been through the journey in Heritage right from nursery. If you ask me about what are things unique in Heritage, I think I can go on and keep speaking. But if I have to sort of pick and choose, I will put things in three large buckets. And those three large buckets to my mind are pedagogy, the whole holistic experience and personality, and the third is the social consciousness. Even if you come to pedagogy, there are various elements in pedagogy which makes the system so effective. The first and foremost, they really let the child relate to what they are teaching. They never teach the child what the child cannot relate to. Whether it's junior classes or it's in senior classes or middle program, they always construct their programs like that. Even in the middle program, when they give large complicated mathematical problems, it's always around a context. It's always related to the application to which the child can relate to. It can be around the metro station, it can be around the mall, so on and so forth. So what really happens is it helps the child to assimilate and comprehend the problem far better. The second element of pedagogy is really how they impart the whole thing. There are expeditions, there are outbound trips, and there is so much of fun element involved in it. I remember when once we were called for a mathematics workshop and they told us that they're going to tell us how they teach fractions, and when we reached there, they really make us play a game, and I was like, what, fractions with games? Unheard of during our time. But I can tell you it was so much fun and the concepts were so absolutely clear because the game was designed in such a manner. So imagine your child really going through such learning with the fun element of it and with the games. So it really helps to my mind doing that. The third big thing which I like about the pedagogy is their whole stress around reading. Right from very early age they introduce books and they really urge the child to read. And it continues and sort of grows along with time. And my daughter, right from childhood, she's been such an avid reader, and even when she grown up, she continues to read. So it helps in every manner. It helps in her language capabilities. It also helps her in doing her projects because during your project, when you have to go through multiple materials, etc., you're just comfortable. You're comfortable with the whole voluminous reading. You're just comfortable with the with the vocabulary, and you're even comfortable with the comprehension part of it, and therefore you can assimilate lots more. So that's broadly about pedagogy. If we talk about the holistic environment and sort of personality, I think Heritage has a very, very unique concept of treating every child very different, and they really live up to it. So it's not that they ask the child to follow something or follow someone else in the class or so on. The child is never snubbed for a wrong question or a bad question or a wrong answer or a bad answer. They really preserve the personality of the child and they really try to enhance it. And in fact, there are no wrong questions or wrong answers. They're only perspectives that you get during the open discussions, during your project work, during your crew work, etc. Now, working in the project and the crew is another unique thing because what happens is it sort of gives you a latent learning about how to deal with various personalities. How to build consensus in the group, how to do sort of a division of labor, or so all the things which you typically grapple in a corporate world, you're learning right there to start with. Even if you see their assessments, they are very unique in nature and they are focused on child himself. So what they really talk about is the whole input and the strengths and the weaknesses of the child and how he can improve. So it's really raising the bar of the child with the inputs about the child, not really blindly following and shooting in the dark, without knowing your own inputs. The assessments are very, very detailed, and you can really work on the child with the help of those assessments. Lastly, sort of coming onto the third large bucket of the social consciousness, I think that's closest to my heart. I think whether it's their effort around Sweda, through projects, through Rahagiri, through the talks, I think they're just making the right impact on the child. But what's really close to my heart is the fact that they're trying to include special children along with the mainstream child. It's not easy to my mind, and I think teachers are really doing a great job of trying and achieving that. It leaves a very, very positive impact on every child who is in the class. They grow up with that sort of environment of inclusion. Even in my case, my daughter has a medical state, and when she was going out for this Khoj expedition, I was really concerned. But I think the teacher was sort of so diligent in her approach, was so thoughtful in her approach, that I never had a problem. The whole experience went so smoothly. I'm really thankful to the teachers. And lastly, I just want to leave with a thought that it's not that heritage is perfect. It has its own areas of improvement. However, the good part about them is that they're really open. They're really open to feedback. They're really ready to listen. They engage all the stakeholders, whether it's a child, whether it's a parent, whether it's a teachers. And therefore, in my journey with heritage, I have only seen continuous improvement. I do hope that they continue to work like this, and wish them all the best.